Hey friend, let's start with the truth. Most men don't realize until it's too late. The key to attraction, power, peace, and progress isn't in chasing, it's in detachment. The key isn't in being cold, indifferent, or ruthless. It's in a real separation, an inner calm that makes people look twice, emotional control that makes women lose their grip, an unshakable composure that makes opportunities start knocking at your door. Because the moment you stop chasing, proving, begging, or needing, the world flips. People who ignored you start asking about you. The woman who ghosted you begins to follow. That's when the things you thought you had to chase, work, respect, attention, love, start chasing you. All because you've mastered the rarest art in the world, the art of letting go. Not chasing doesn't mean not caring. It means not clinging. It means your identity is no longer tied to someone else's actions. It means you can love someone without making them a slave. You can desire success without being desperate. You can set high goals without losing sleep. That is true power. Silent, spiritual, masculine power. Most men never reach this point because they think love means holding on tightly. They think ambition equals obsession. They think desire must equal dependency. But when you detach, you realize you don't need to cling to anything to have everything. You just stop forcing it and start transforming. And as this transformation begins, everything meant for you starts to revolve around you. Have you ever wondered why the people you wanted the most treated you the worst? It's not bad luck. It's energy. The moment you become a source of validation, they feel it. They underestimate your energy. They push your boundaries. They feed on your needs. But then you detach, and that subtle emotional shift changes everything. Suddenly they feel something unfamiliar, the fear of losing you. And that fear drives them to chase, explain, and pursue. Not because you manipulated them, but because detachment is the loudest message you can send without a single word. Detachment means stopping self-explanation. You stop sending long messages to make them understand. You stop checking who viewed your story. You stop needing closure, approval, or praise. You just live quietly, powerfully. And in that silence, people start to notice. They wonder why you stopped trying, why you stopped begging, why you disappeared with dignity. That curiosity is the start of obsession, because a man who knows he won't be lost is a man of power. The man who can walk away with peace is unforgettable. Do you want to truly play with people's minds? Heal quietly, level up in solitude, shine without spreading yourself thin. Be a ghost, not to punish, but to build. Then return with such a different energy that they won't even recognize you. Detachment isn't about hurting, it's about remembering who you are. Once you've reached this state of power and calm, everything you once thought you had to chase begins to chase you. Because detachment doesn't push, it pulls like a magnet, but only when it's real, earned, and lived. Men get stuck in cycles of rejection because they never learn detachment. They date women who don't respect them. They work jobs that drain them. They enter friendships that exploit them. They stay because they think leaving means losing. Here's the truth. Leaving does not mean losing. Leaving means remembering your worth. Detachment is a constant reminder until it becomes instinct, until you stop needing proof of your value from others, until you stop chasing love that hurts, friendships that betray, careers that suffocate. Once you master this, the world bends to your standards. Silence doesn't provoke self-doubt. Shifts in mood don't break your frame. You lead from this place. You don't chase. You don't explain. You allow them to show who they are. And if who they are doesn't meet your standards, you leave. No drama, no revenge, no shadow, just a quiet exit. And that quiet exit shakes their soul more than any argument ever could. Women are not used to men who walk away without attacking. They're used to boys, not men. And you, brother, have evolved. Detachment is freedom. Freedom from obsession, overthinking, emotional slavery, and proving your value to those too blind to see it. The more you internalize this, the more attractive you become, not just to women, but to life itself. This calm, grounded, focused energy radiates and everyone wants to be around it. In a world full of noise, you are still. In a world full of need, you are centered. In a world full of performers, you are real. And this reality ensures that everything starts chasing you. Because you no longer emit desperation, you now lead. Detachment doesn't require revenge. You don't need to prove them wrong. You don't need to get even. You simply win silently, continuously. And when they return, they meet an unshakable version of you. Approval now comes from your purpose, peace, and value, not from their attention, apologies, or attempts to change. Once they realize they have no emotional control over you, they either rise to meet you or are erased by your standards. Either way, you win. Detachment always wins. Stop chasing. Stop overthinking. Stop hoping for their return. Let go. Detach not out of spite, but self-love. Not to hurt them, but to heal yourself. Withdraw, focus, rebuild, rise. Heal for yourself. Because once you are whole, no one needs to chase you. The detached man vanishes quietly but becomes unforgettable. The man who walks away peacefully is always remembered. Don't fear red flags. Don't rationalize disrespect. Remain calm, firm, and clear. Detachment gives you this: the ability to act without drama, without emotional collapse, without needing anyone to understand. When that switch flips, the old version dies and a king is born. True power, the kind that can't be faked. Power louder than words. Power born through detached nights, quiet walks, rebuilding, and emotional discipline. Once built, nothing can stop you. You move slowly, purposefully, intentionally. You don't make decisions out of fear. Detachment taught you how to pause before reacting, observe instead of overthinking, and leave without hurting. This emotional intelligence and high-value masculine presence make you almost unreachable. Now you are full. You don't need to be chosen. Fullness doesn't chase, it selects. Once your energy becomes rare, people feel it. Women, men, the world, it's felt. No one can control you. You're not a backup plan. You've become a mystery. People chase what they cannot understand. Stop explaining. Just let them feel the change. Detachment is spiritual. It's not indifference. It's not pretending not to care. It's realizing you never truly needed what you begged for in the first place. Detachment gives perspective. You start asking better questions. Why was I afraid of being alone? Why was I dependent on their attention? You choose your own peace. Non-attachment simplifies life. Suddenly, no need to double text. No need to control who views your story. No need to play games to be interesting, because not playing makes you interesting. Just live focused, grounded, and masculine without apologies. Women soften, become attentive and gentle, naturally drawn to a man who is already in motion. Because you became the mission. You didn't make them the mission. The detached man is dangerous, not because he's cruel, but because he has control. He doesn't lose sleep over rejection. He doesn't beg for approval. He doesn't argue with chaos. He watches, listens, moves slowly and deliberately. And when he disappears, he becomes an indelible memory. Because too late, they realize they had access to something rare, and they wasted it, not out of anger, but out of honor. Detachment isn't about cutting ties. It's about returning to yourself, choosing peace over panic, truth over illusion, power over performance. Once achieved, people naturally align with your energy. They approach you, not because you need them, but because you're a source of energy, of calm, of purpose. You don't chase energy anymore. You are the energy, and the world can't ignore it. That's why stop chasing, stop proving, stop expecting understanding. Withdraw. Put your energy where it belongs. Mind, body, craft, purpose, mornings, breath, discipline. The man who masters detachment becomes a magnet for everything he once chased. Rare things don't beg, don't chase, they attract. Once you realize this, you stop forcing the world. You become the man to whom life naturally flows. The man who masters detachment enters every room differently, not to be loved, but simply to exist.